So I know that it's been like 6 months since I said that park reviews are coming back. Well, this time I decided to bring them back finally. Now, instead, I decided to say that this was a Christmas special because it's something I wanted to do a while and I didn't really have an idea for a Christmas special. So I decided, you know what, let's just do a park review. And today I'm going to be reviewing King's Dominion located in Doswell, Virginia. And this is a great park. This was my third Cedar Fair Park. The second being Kings Island, the first one being Cedar Point. So as a Christmas present from me to you, I present the King's Dominion Park Review. So the first category is going to be roller coasters, and I gave it a 7 out of 10. As you see, the coasters in the pictures right here, which are in Timber 305 and Twist Timbers, are my top two roller coasters there. They're both awesome rides, and I did review these two. To be honest, most of the coasters are really good, such as Dominator, which is the B&M Flores coaster. Racer 75 was a really good ride, despite the operations, which I'll get to later. And there's some other good rides like, I don't know, I guess Coast Collection's kind of weak, that's why I gave it a 7. Most of the coasters I've ridden are really good, but there's some that are pretty bad, like Anaconda, which is the Aero Custom Looper, Grizzly, which is the park's wooden coaster, and maybe their Backlot Sun coaster wasn't that good, like none of the effects were working, which is why I gave it a 7. But then most of the coasters are either okay or awesome, like the ones in the pictures. Second category is flat rides, and I gave it a 6. Now, I only rode one flat ride at the park, which is this one right here, which is the Huss Top Spin, the Crypt, which is a really unique flat ride. That was my first Huss Top Spin. A bit rough and like a bit jarring sometimes. And the flat ride over here is a Delirium, which is one of the newer flat rides in the park. This is a Mondial Frisbee. I did not ride it because I was spending most of the time on the coasters. But to be honest, they do have a drop tower. They have a wind seeker. They do have a Ferris wheel. And overall, they are pretty good. But I didn't really get a chance to do any of those rides. Just the Crypt, which is the top spin, as you already know. So third category is dark rides, and they only have one right here, which is Boo Blasters on Boo Hill. This is a really popular dark ride among the Cedar Fair chain, and they're mainly in the Kings Parks. Also, I know there's 3. Yeah, no, there's actually 4, because there's one in Canada's Wonderland. I did ride the other 3 here, which are in Carowinds, Kings Island, and Kings Dominion. To me, Kings Dominion is my favorite because most of the effects were working, and also, at least the gun I was holding was working. It's basically an interactive dark ride, so they give you guns to shoot at targets, if you don't know that. But to be honest, I'm not really a big fan of these dark rides. I mean, the exterior of the ride is really nice, but to be honest, the ride itself is just UV lights, and it's kind of the same as the original theme. Originally it was themed to the Scooby-Doo comics. I mean, instead, having the Scooby-Doo characters in the ride, they replaced them with skeletons. So, to be honest, I think the Scooby-Doo ride would be better than Boo Blasters, the theme. Next up is water rides, and I only gave it a 7. They only have 2 water rides, which seem to be really good. I've only ridden one, which was the Shenandoah Lumber Company, which is a log flume. Really good ride. I didn't get as wet as the other log flumes I've ridden, but I remember some guy just squirted me and my mom on the ride with one of the water cannons, because you put the tokens in. Or not tokens, coins in, and next you could press the button and it shoots water on the oncoming riders. So yeah, it's pretty fun. That's in it was starting to get a bit chilly, so it was kind of cold, but it wasn't freezing cold when I went. So next up is food, and the restaurant I ate at was the Mac Bowl, which is right next to Racer 75 or Rebel Yell. And originally I was expecting this to be pretty bad because I'm not a big fan of theme park food. I will say SeaWorld does have some really good food. Busch Gardens depends on where you eat. And to be honest, like most of the Cedar Fair food experience that I've had, they weren't the best. But I'll say this one was really good. It's basically a mac and cheese bar where you get mac and cheese. You can put like toppings, like meat and stuff. It's really nice. But it's not the best theme park food I had, but it's really good still. Next up is staff, and staff are okay in this park. They're just your typical theme park staff, but I will say some of them were pretty nice. I haven't really had a problem with any staff members at parks, other than Six Flags Over Georgia, but we'll get to that one day. So staff are pretty okay. I mean, they're just your typical staff. I mean, like, it's not like Dollywood or SeaWorld parks where they're really nice. But at the same time, like, it really just depends on who you're interacting with. There could have some nice staff members, but there could be some staff members that can be a bit more on the, I don't know, they just seem pretty bored. But I don't know, I haven't worked at a park yet, so I don't know, like, any employees. Like, what I'm saying is that, like, I don't really know how the employees are, like, from my perspective, because I haven't worked at the park. I just went there. I might just go there. Next up is presentation, which is how the park looks, and I gave it an 8. It is really nice. Probably because, like, there are a lot of trees around, like, in the area where Grizzly is, like, most of the coasters surrounded by trees. Twisted Timbers has some decent theming in the station and queue. And also, I like how Intimidator 305 is on a giant field. It feels so open. And I guess most of the park is surrounded by trees, but it's not like Kings Island where, like it's like a forest. Like, the beast goes through the woods. Like, it's kind of not like that, but, like, it's really nice. Also, the singing mushrooms are really good. It's a popular meme in the coaster community. But overall, presentation is not bad. I really like it. Next up is Cleanliness, which is how clean the park is. And it's really clean. I would say probably one of the more cleaner parks I've been to. Maybe there might be some trash scattered, but, like, to be honest, I didn't have a problem with the park being dirty. It was really well kept. Especially, I guess, when they refurbished some of the areas, like, for example, the Candy Apple Grove, which is where Twisted Timbers is, which is right here. Like, I think since they repainted rides, also made the area more nicer. But in general, the park is pretty well kept, in my opinion. So I gave it a 9. Next up is operations. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Why did I give it a 4 if I really think this is a great park? To be honest, operations aren't really that good. Now, this category is mainly based on if the park is running one-train ops, or, like, they aren't running the rides that well to the point where, like, they keep on breaking down or something. So I've counted, like I'll just say that some of the rides were running one train that day I went, such as Grizzly, Racer 75, which is one train, one side. So that's ridiculous. So I only got to ride one side of it, and they were also running one train, which meant I probably had a longer wait when I left. Also, Anaconda was running 2 trains when I went, so I think some of the coasters, like Woodstock Express, was running one train, and I'm not sure. Like, some of the coasters were running one train. I went to like all of them, so I gave it a 4 because, like, they could just improve on the operations. Like, just improve the operations, please. Like, I think that would make it a better park and maybe a better experience, because then you don't have to wait as long as, like what I'm gonna say is that you don't have to wait as long as, like, if it was just running one train. and last year's location. I'm gonna give it a 7. I do like how in the picture, if you look at Interior 305, like you can see in the background it's mainly like trees everywhere, and it's kind of like King's Island. Like there's a lot of trees everywhere, and I think that like it is a really good location. I think some of the areas are really nice, and it's mainly what I'm gonna say is that sometimes you're just going to the woods, and it's really nice. And I do like some parks that use the terrain to their advantage. Though this park doesn't really have any terrain, it's kind of like flat ground, but I really like the scenery. Like the landscaping and trees do make the area really nice. So I tally up all the categories, and I gave King's Dominion a score of 66%. Now that doesn't mean it's a bad score. I just added up all the categories. My personal score is a 9 out of 10. It's a great park. I would say it's on the lower half of my top 10. I think it's probably top 10, but it's like not like top 5 or anything. It's probably lower. I think I've been to more parks where probably better, but this one isn't a bad park. So hopefully enjoy this review or Christmas special, which I wouldn't really say it's a Christmas special. It's just a review, but well, this is kind of an excuse. So hopefully enjoy this video. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the notification button, and notified about a new video. Subscribe to Theme Park Chasers and stay tuned for more videos coming soon to Theme Park Chasers, and I'll catch you guys next time.